PNC Sports First is presented by Budweiser and IT&E.
Hey, Hafa-day. Hope you weathered the storm okay over the weekend. Welcome to PNC Sports First. And speaking of this weekend's weather, it forced a few local leagues to cancel weekend games. The cancellation actually pushes back the Triple J All-Star football game. It will now be played on Sunday, November 8th, and all GNYFF, that's Guam Youth National Football Federation, all their games were also called off over the weekend, as was the IIAG High School semifinals in football. Special field correspondent Blake Watson has more.
Hey, thanks so much, Blake. That's right. We are here at GW's field, right in the end zone, actually, to be a little bit more exact, in Minilao. 2 games were supposed to go on this past weekend in high school semifinal postseason play. It was supposed to be the #1 ranked Father Duenas Friars. They were supposed to take on the Panthers of Guam High right here, 7 o'clock last Friday night. And then Saturday, the George Washington Geckos, the defending champs, were supposed to defend their title. And it started here against the Southern High Dolphins, who punched their ticket to the semifinals for the first time ever in school history. But the Dolphins, the Geckos, the Friars, and the Panthers are all going to have to wait 1 more week. That's right. All the games, of course, were canceled by the IIAG, citing concern for player safety, a factor, according to Martin Boudreaux, president of the IIAG. But no worries. Everything has been postponed. It will be moved a week back. So this Friday, weather permitting, of course, it will go on as scheduled. 7 o'clock, Panthers of Guam High, #1 ranked Father Duenas Friars right here, weather permitting, of course. And then Saturday, the George Washington and the Southern High game are supposed to commence. We've got more on that right now.
Thank you so much. By the way, shout out to him for weathering the storm. What you can't tell is actually raining during the shoot. Yeah, crazy when we're talking about the field being wet and canceled for rain. Anyway, Guam High, they advance by upsetting higher seeded the Okuru Bulldogs. That's how they get to Friday night's game. They will face off against the #1 seeded Father Duenas Friars, who hosted Tiedzen and took care of the Titans easily 42-6. Meanwhile, Saturday night's game will have the Southern High Dolphins, who shocked the league in a game where 2 Dolphins and 1 Islander player were ejected, but Southern High get the win and they advance for the first time ever in the school's history to the semifinals. And GW, they punched their ticket by beating the Simon Sanchez High Sharks 35-20 in last week's playoff game. Moving on, many of the Guam-based Metal players made it back in time for week 2 of Division I action of the Budweiser Soccer League out at GFA's National Training Center in Harmon. In the other opening week, Guam Shipyard prevailed over the Southern Cobras 5-2. Shipyard's Kenneth Karosic completed a hat trick in that game by the 30th minute to give his team the early lead. They never looked back. The Cobras' Ashton Serber had the goal of the night off a bicycle kick in the 32nd minute. Moving on, in week 2 of Division II, last season's champions, the Rovers, battled to a 2-2 draw with Tumon. The Crusaders, they defeated Southern Heat 2-0. The Islanders FC, they edged Applebee's Strikers 2-1 with goals from Jordan Jasmine and Derek Okiyama. Big Blue, they defeat FC Barcelona 5-1. And league newcomer Bank of Guam Team Ethan earned their first win in the league as Ethan San Nicolas scores 2 for Bank of Guam. Teammate Angelo Cortez gets 1, and they win over Dusan FC, their first win in the league ever, as they're the brand new team to the league, 3-0. So congratulations to Bank of Guam IFIT, and action will continue out at GFA's National Training Center in Harmon this coming weekend, weather permitting, of course. Also, the Robbie Weber Triple J Youth Soccer League was also canceled this past weekend, and it will continue this coming weekend as well out in Harmon at GFA. Well, that'll wrap things up for me, for the crew, and for PNC Sports First here on your Monday. My name is Blake Watson. Until tomorrow night, see you at the game.
PNC Sports First is presented by Budweiser and IT&E.